He's going to be co-hosting the call with me and going through the questions, initial questions. And guys, just as Sam said, you know, it is a big deal. It's a breakthrough that we've got Sam here. This is someone that we've been showing on presentations for the last 2 or 3 years, and we've actually got him here with us. So Sam, thank you so much for making yourself available. And also, as Sam has said, even though we had to wait for him, he's going to give us ample time. So apologies for starting late, but he's here for us. So AJ, do you want to start going through the questions? We'll just go through one each, yeah?
Yeah, cool. I'll kick it off. Hi, Sam. My name's AJ. So I'm going to just start with the first question. So when were you first aware of the issues in Hyperverse, and why have you decided to come forward now?
So I'm aware of the issues because, of course, what I've been doing at Hyperfund was generating returns, right? Whether it's for a LP or, you know, a community, which is what the membership management company is, right? And you know, what you guys interpret as corporate, right? I've made it fully visible in the sense that we've generated outsized returns that beat market conditions, right? We're talking about, you know, when we started Hyper, it was $5,000 a Bitcoin. And then, you know, at the peak of valuation of Bitcoin is 60,000. So we beat market conditions, and you know, I thought there was plenty of money to go around, but that unfortunately, for whatever reason, did not reach membership, right? And that is when, you know, of course, I started to question and ask for transparency. I didn't get that. But unfortunately, because we operate such a large organization, and of course, key people at the top are key, I guess, how should I put it? You know, friends of mine, right? You know, these are guys who, you know, I ate with and bled with for, you know, the last 2-3 bull bear cycles. Right, and they always came through. You know, these are honorable people. So, you know, when this all of a sudden happened, it caught me off guard, and I unfortunately needed to give them enough time to deal with this, to drive a outcome that would be acceptable. And they made promises to you, made promises to me, and you know what? I'm still hopeful that they will do the right and honorable thing. So I'm supportive of whatever they are doing because I'm sure they have good intentions. But the thing is, even if they have good intentions, there needs to be a plan, and there needs to be transparency of that plan. And given that I've waited around long enough for that visibility and transparency, and it has not come through, I'm here right now and broadcasting to the community my intentions to move forward with the industry and with the community.
Thanks, Sam. The second question is, which you've answered somewhat, is can you tell us why did the payout stop back in February, March last year? Why did the payouts to the members stop?
I unfortunately don't have visibility on that because even though as technology providers, we develop, export, and they then deploy, right? So you have to understand my visibility into what is liable and what is owed and how big the community is not with me. That is just matter of fact, right? And that's the thing, right? I'm here because I don't have all the answers. If I have all the answers, we would have negotiated a solution long ago.
So it sounds like there's your department, and then there's the department of them running the company, and you've not had visibility into the whole picture of what's going on. Would that seem fair to say?
I don't think there is any ill intent in them not giving me visibility. But the fact is, waiting for market conditions to improve is not a solution, because market conditions can, not improve for a very long period of time, and the community needs answers, and not only answers, they need solutions. So, I've never had a situation where I've broken any contracts, right? And the outcome of those contracts are always somewhat positive in an industry that allows you to issue and create new forms of value, right? So in a shorter form, right? We're in an industry that prints money. How could you not make money, right? How could you not make money for a community? I just don't understand, right? So I've always delivered, and it just is unfortunate we're in a situation where I don't have the visibility to continue to deliver, because I have delivered in Hyperfund, but that hasn't gone to membership for some reason.
Okay, AJ.
So currently, where are the billions of dollars that came into Hyperverse, and can they not be used to give people their 1x back?
So again, I run, two things, right? A technology company and a funds management company. So the funds management company has delivered, right? So I don't understand why membership is not being paid out. That's a big question mark for me, right? In terms of how I see this moving forward is, I need to, on your behalf, pressure some visibility out of corporate, and I think that's already happening. They are in a position where they are trying to find solutions, right? Given how I am now being very upfront with you guys, and I'm under NDA, so I can't share everything with you guys, but it is enough information for you guys to make decisions on how you guys want to act moving forward, and that gives an enormous amount of pressure to them to align with the community.
Thanks. Next question. Do you have any idea of the scale of the problem? How much is the 1x total?
No. And that's why I've reached out to the community to begin this discovery process.
Okay, and are we safe to assume, I'll answer this question, AJ, because they're linked. Are we safe to assume that people's 1x is still priority, and is anything above that available?
That's a promise by corporate. I obviously have not made that promise, and I have delivered returns. So, it is up to us to really work together, first to define what 1x is, and then deliver, right? And that is, again, a promise by corporate, right? If it was me at the head of a ship, I could have made a very different decision, right? But at the end of the day, a decision cannot be made by me right now because of the lack of visibility.
Okay.
Okay. Any view on how long it will take for people to at least receive the 1x?
No, I have no visibility.
Okay. Shall I just ask the next one?
You go for it.
So there was a recent article that was on Medium. Just basically, was that a genuine article regarding Hyperverse? I don't know if you've seen it or not.
I've asked the question, but I only have one board meeting a month with corporate, and in that board meeting, it's always just about their delays, right? It's like, what's supposed to happen this month becomes next month, right? I mean, it is because I am disheartened by, how slow things are moving. That is why I'm here to really reach out to everyone and produce a solution. Because you have to understand, right? A real business has contingency plans to be successful in a bear market. Right? You just don't say, oh, let's wait until the market recovers and then deal with it, right? So the objective really now is to get some visibility on that. And the thing is, if I get visibility, I'm able to help them, right? But right now, I can only try and get some visibility by applying indirect pressure through the community. By being in front of you guys, I think we've already begun the process of doing that.
AJ, you might as well carry on with the next question as well.
So I've lost my train of thought here.
Number 6.
So it's just, can you clarify the relationship, if any, between HyperNation and Hyperverse / the Hypertech group, please?
So Hypertech is a technology company. Excuse me. Hypertech is a technology company. I've always stated that in every single media release and press release and video. And as a technology company, we're responsible for driving the adoption of blockchain. And that has happened. But of course, what people do with that technology is, let's put it this way. I always believe blockchain will drive a more transparent and equitable future, right? But that needs to start from transparency between you and me, right? And somehow along the way, because I have trusted people to deliver, and I still want to believe that they will deliver. I still have hope that they will deliver, right? But because it's relying on a third party, you're relying on a third party, I'm relying on a third party, it is no longer in our hands, right? And I don't want that to be ever the scenario moving forward.
Okay, and just the relationship between HyperNation and Hyperverse?
I don't know.
As in the relationship, so does HyperNation also sit under the Hypertech group, or is that a complete separate entity?
We provide technology. We use outdated database to test the technology, right? And therefore, as a technology provider, we make fees from that technology, right? But ultimately, we're under NDA. So there is very little visibility I have access to really do anything, because we're using outdated databases. Like, we only have, a test data of 10,000 users, and I'm pretty sure the Hyper community is much larger than that.
Yep. Okay. Harinder?
Sam, question. What funds do you have access to that are in your visibility that can be used to pay people their 1x back? And if so, what amount?
So that's also under NDA, but there are some funds, right? And that's not reached maturity. I'm in a position to, I'm legally obligated to hand those funds over. That's a matter of fact, right? But if the community gives me visibility, then I could, potentially withhold those funds to at least do something, right? But at this point in time, right, without your support, I'll have to just, once these funds reach maturity, hand those funds over.
What do you mean by reach maturity?
Well, our fund structure is 3+2, so it's a 5-year fund. but you could early, you could have an early exit at the 3-year mark. It's pretty common, especially in the crypto world, right? Because the bull market comes roughly once every 3 years. So we'll be able to create a nice exit for our investors every 3 years.
When does the 3-year total finish?
It finishes at the end of 2023.
Okay. Next question, 2 questions left. Hypernation has got people in masks, Mr. H, and he seems to be discussing very similar values to Ryan Yu in terms of how Ryan Yu came across in Next Blockchain. Is Ryan Yu heading Hypernation?
I'll just say my point of view. I always believed in creating education, and that is why, I came on the journey of doing this with an affiliate marketing model, right? So I always believed that educators should be rewarded, right? Leaders should be rewarded for bringing more people into this industry. So what you guys have done is nothing short of spectacular. But more importantly, I always believed in things being deployed in the following order: education, regulation, and innovation. If you innovate first without regulation or education, then you're probably in a situation where you're building something that nobody cares about or wants, right? And so, it's just a similar saying back in 2008 when, I was working at an ad agency, right? And it was a common joke around the water cooler that, oh, let's just create an app for that, right? There's an app for that, right? And now it seems like 15 years on, there's a blockchain for that, right? Blockchain is not supposed to be implemented everywhere and anywhere. The objective of blockchain is to build trust and transparency. But first, it has to start from us. So in terms of Hypernation, I believe that it is one of the solutions that members are driving to create an outcome with corporate. And corporate is in a position to drive an outcome. But the problem is, I'm not involved. So I don't really have that much else to say that could give you visibility of who Mr. H is, etc.
But do you know if Ryan Yu is heading Hypernation?
I don't know.
And the last question before we hand it over to the audience is, where is Ryan Yu? Why is he not coming forward?
Well, where is Satoshi? Why is he not coming forward, right? Look, I just wanted to, I guess, give Ryan Zhu, who is a co-founder of many of my companies, he's a visionary, and he performs very, very well in a bull market, right? He comes up with great ideas that really, it's like hitting the ball out of the park, right? I did not even know where that came from, right? But the problem is, I've always done everything with him transparently, right? So I'm not saying I don't trust him. No, I trust that he will do the right thing, but, I want to do things front and center with full visibility of regulators and say, this is what I'm doing. You have to understand, my history in this industry is I accidentally convinced a whole bunch of very normal people to buy Bitcoins from 2010, 11, 12, 13, right? And all of a sudden, when Bitcoin went from cents to $10, and in 2013 went from $10 to $1,000, a lot of us became retardedly wealthy, right? And the government of Australia, which is the country we lived in the middle of nowhere, right, just had to ask, is the money that we made legitimate? And the thing was, no one was willing to deal with them. I was willing to deal with them alongside some key legal experts to create the first regulation in this industry and say, look, you know, treat this as a lottery ticket. We won the lottery, and now let's pay some taxes. So yes, I guess there's a bunch of libertarians, you know, in the crypto space that really don't enjoy the fact that I introduced the first tax into this industry, but it is the step in the right direction, right? The objective is the government needs their share so that we're able to, you know, be looked after by the facility that, you know, the government provides in terms of infrastructure.
Okay, Sam, thank you so much. That wraps up the generic questions. We're now going to, AJ, we'll do this together because it's quite a few. We're going to go to the audience now. And if you want to ask a question, just raise your hand. And just to remind you, because there's quite a few people that have questions, please don't take it personally if we suddenly mute you. It's just because we've got to give people an opportunity to ask questions as well. And then you can come back around the circle and ask your question. So if you've got a list of 6 questions, please only ask one. And then you can work around as well. Let me go to gallery. Okay, so let's go with Aranga. And AJ is timing this, guys. So apologies if you suddenly get cut off. So keep your questions very short and sweet, and then hand over to Sam.
Thank you, Sam, for reaching us. Very quickly, you know, you did refer to corporate. Who is corporate? This has always been an issue for us. We thought you were part of corporate as well. So who is corporate? And also you did mention about you want to work with the community, you want to work with us. So what exactly do you expect from the community to move forward and, you know, ideally recover the 1x and, you know, do more?
I am under NDA still. The answers I have for corporate is quite limited, but I am on the board of corporate, you know, but the access to the right level of visibility can only happen if I'm majority on the board. You know, this is just standard company structures, right? It's just I'm not able to twist and turn, and you know, I've tried that, didn't get any answers, and that's why I'm here, right? To give you guys a level of visibility so that we're able to move forward, right? And if we're moving forward in multiple directions, that's fine as well. But at least, you know, I am putting my foot on the ground and saying, this is where I stand and this is where I would like to move forward from.
So how do we move forward as a community and with yourself, Sam?
So, firstly, I don't have access to the database. If I'm able to advocate for the Hyper community, I need Hyper community to be enrolled in my database. So what that needs to look like is we need to recreate the structures that we have, right, in Hyper, right? And let's not talk about like referral rewards and all this kind of stuff, right? Let's just talk about, you know, who's upline, right? And just roughly similarly just enroll under your existing upline, right? Once I have that database, you know, I'm able to introduce tokenomics to the top 500 companies in the world. Not all of them would want to do anything that has anything to do with crypto or tokens, right? But, you know, the thing is, if companies don't do anything with tokens, they are missing out, right? Because just like how I see this industry being trusted and transparent, I believe that companies can benefit from accelerated revenue if they are able to tap into not only the stock market, which is issuing equities, and not only issuing debt, which is, corporate bonds, etc., but also issuing tokens, right? Because what happens when a consumer buys something, right? It makes the stock price go up. It makes the company more valuable. But are you, as a consumer, getting any benefit from that, right? The answer is no. So that's why creating a tokenomic is very important, because all of a sudden you are benefiting from the success of a system that is backed by the largest company in the world, right? So my objective really is to advocate for a community, but unless I have roughly a similar database that is structured, that I have full visibility on and control of, I cannot advocate for you guys. So that's coming. We want to replicate that database because I think what we have is magical. What has been achieved by you guys is beyond extraordinary, but it now needs to be put into real businesses. And it can only be put into real businesses that we can accelerate if it's built on a business model that already exists.
Thanks. Alberta, before you ask a question, Capella JSN, you've got your hand up. I can only add you to the spotlight if you've got your video on. Yeah. So if you want to ask a question, you're going to have to put your video on. Alberta, go for it.
Good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you are. First of all, I would like to thank Hurinda, Ajay, and Bui, the other guy, to actually provide this for everybody. So, and Sam Lee, thank you very much for taking the opportunity as well to give us some clarity. My question was actually asked by the previous person. However, you keep going on to the database, that you need the database from the community. How me personally, like being a leader of quite a few people, I was actually doing the presentations in Spanish of Hyperverse. And one of the things that I actually noticed is, why did they, because to me, it was kind of a diversion from Hyperverse into Hypernation. It was what I felt like. It was like to take the importance of what was going on with Hyperverse and make everybody concentrate on Hypernation. However, we were not given the opportunity to gather whatever we had in Hyperverse and transfer it completely to Hypernation. You had to put more funds in, and that's one of the things that actually made me a bit more upset. I'm not going to say angry, because, at the end of the day, I made the decision to come on board, but it made me upset on the sense that I cannot do anything with those funds that are still in there. I haven't got, and my wife haven't got our 1X out yet. And I can see that they're creating this Hypernation and now Hypercosmos. And it's like we are lost in transaction, if that makes sense, in transition, because we are left behind. So how can me personally, as one of the community members, help you on representing me or representing us?
I think, firstly, just by doing these Zooms, we are making this issue louder, right? And that is a step in the right direction, right? In terms of where I want to take the community moving forward is building businesses transparently, with the largest corporations in the world. So I'm not asking for more money to be put in to be a part of anything new, right? I think what happened with Hypernation and Hypercosmos, you know, is great. That they still want to try and move things forward, right? But I'm here to create, you know, absolute transparency, and that starts with me talking to you right now, and you know, at least moving forward, we'll be in a position where you know exactly where I stand on the matters at hand and how to move things forward, right? Because right now it feels like everybody's swimming, but they're not even sure if they're swimming in the right direction, right? And that is not what leadership is. Leadership is where we sit down, we look at the problems, and we find solutions together. And the first thing I'm doing is first recreating the database that you guys have, right, of the membership inside a system that I have full access and visibility on, right, so that I could advocate, right? And you know what, worst case scenario, what we have is me getting some free airdrops to the next 100 projects that I'm involved in, right? But at least that's a beginning, right? That's a beginning of helping everyone move forward, because you have to understand there are diamonds in the rough that will come into this industry in the future. And if we are a big community and a strong community, then I could advocate a big outcome for everyone.
John, do you want to ask your question, buddy?
So, Mr. Lee, with all due respect, you know, I'm old enough to be your grandfather, and I've seen a lot of different things happen in my lifetime. But what has happened here is very disconcerting. And to hear you talking about building new businesses when everything points to the fact that you don't have any control at this point. We all believe that you and Ryan were the face of the business. We all told your story with passion, and then it changed and it changed tracks. Now you're asking us to believe that you're going to do other businesses and give us airdrops and tokens and other things, when all that people really want is to get their money back so that they can move to opportunities that are real rather than imagined. So, you know, I don't know why you have an NDA, why there is always them, a corporate side that you don't seem to have any control over. To me, it's inconceivable that somebody that had the amazing resources that you and Ryan had, that we bragged about, would be reduced to this level of no power. Would you explain that to me?
So thank you for this question. It is inconceivable for many people, but then again, John, this is the first time we've talked. So you have to understand, right? My mobile phone number is my WhatsApp message application number, right? And it's out there on the internet. If people look for me hard enough and just say nice things to me instead of threatening me, you know, I would respond with full transparency and full honesty, right? But the problem is,
I just want to know what's going on.
I understand, but you know, unfortunately, when people lose money, they always look for someone to blame. I don't mind being the person that people blame, as long as they have visibility in what's going on. So I am first and foremost here to provide that level of visibility so that you guys can blame me, right? Because at the end of the day, I did trust people. I made mistakes, you know, and I've waited around long enough for the mistakes to be rectified, thinking that there will be a magic bullet. You know, there will be an outcome, right? And guess what? I think based on the latest article that came out, things are moving hopefully in the right direction for corporate to deal with this mess. But I myself come here with a clean conscience, knowing that I have been in a position, unfortunately compromised, but from a perspective that, involves, all the contractual obligations I have, right? I'm not legally compromised, right? I'm morally compromised for sure, right? But I'm not legally compromised, because me being legally compromised does not help anyone in this room. It doesn't help anyone in this Zoom, right? So my objective is, here I am, in front of everyone, trying to deal with this, right? And it is not giving everybody the answers that they are hoping for or looking for, but at least it's a start.
Okay, I wish you luck, and I wish the rest of us luck waiting for you. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Kapila, let me just unmute you. Just unmute yourself, Kapila. You have to press the unmute button. That's it. Maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Okay, you've gone again. Kapila, while you sort that out, you might want to go onto a laptop or something. I'm going to bring Rick on. Rick, do you want to unmute yourself?
I hope you can hear me. Hi, Sam. Thank you very much for joining the call. We do appreciate it. I wanted to move the conversation maybe to a slightly different angle, and I appreciate you might not be able to disclose everything. But any recovery will only ever be as strong as the organisation behind it. So I was wondering if you could tell us what is going on, assuming it's the Hypertech group that is behind this. What's going in that group? We're in a bear market, we're in a crypto winter. We've seen lots of big corporations fall. Can you tell us something about what's going on with Hypertech?
So we're a technology company, and we sell technology regardless of market conditions, right? Actually, we've been able to continue growing in this market condition because we're perfectly positioned to take over the development of projects and companies that can no longer afford to have, an overbloated development team. And you have to understand, right, when a company struggles to raise enough capital to maintain their staffing, they outsource. And when they outsource, they do it in a way where they're looking at the lowest cost option, right? And because we've been in this industry for a long time, it means, oh, is that what you're looking for? Well, actually, let me pull it off the shelf, dust it off, and then just spin it up on some Amazon servers. So it's not hard for us to continue to grow in this market condition. But what I think is distraction for our technology company is, for example, the article that came out yesterday, right, saying that there was a hack, the money was recovered, and this is us wanting to distribute the money after 9 whole months, right? Because that's not me. If you look into Google early history, when our company got hacked, we announced it right away. And we also announced a solution by basically saying to our LPs that we will make them whole. Of course, it wasn't a lot of money back then, but it was a lot of money to us back then. So you have to understand that was us committing to, transparency, to an outcome, and the negativity of the article I won't go into any further, but it just feels like, a cheap shot to say that, after doing technology in this industry for so long that, we delivered hackable technology. It's just laughable. So I'm quite proud of my team, and we don't want to be in a position where my team feel disappointed seeing these articles pop up, and unfortunately, I spent a lot of time yesterday just, saying to my team that, this is not a reflection of their work. That is not a reflection of their ethics, and it is what it is, and we just have to deal with that, right? And I am dealing with that. I'm dealing with that on their behalf by being transparent to you guys.
Thanks, Sam. Kapila, you want to try again? Just want to unmute yourself.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I just wanted to find out what is the strategy behind you have in place for Hypernation and Hyperverse for the future, in place of investment income to pay the rewards for the members, as crypto markets is not stable yet. Any sort of suggestions where, it need to be made profit. I understand as a business person, I understand you need to make money to give money away. So what exactly strategies in place to keep this growing this to Hypernation and Hyperverse? Thank you.
So again, I am limited in my involvement in the affiliate marketing side of the Hyper business because we're just a technology provider. But moving forward, I want to harness the power of the community, and you guys as leaders to drive a real business. And a real business means real customers, real revenue, and real profits. And you rightly said we need to make money in order to, share that with people here. So that is why we need to see moving forward the contracts that are in place, the payments that are coming to us, and how much we're sharing with leadership and the community to drive, a long-lasting and stable income. We have seen businesses in the affiliate marketing industry come and go, but the ones that are built on real products and services build up overall trust in the long run. So that is how I wish to explore a solution moving forward. And this is not something that I'm asking people to contribute money towards. I'm asking people to just rebuild their tree, right? So that I can do something with it. I can advocate on your behalf.
Thanks, Sam. Tina, before you speak, there was someone called Gerald who wanted to ask a question. Just to remind you guys, we can only spotlight you through Zoom, so you can ask a question if your videos are on, yeah? So if you do want to ask a question, you'd have to turn your videos on. It's just how Zoom works.
So I wanted to thank you, Sam, for coming on and putting yourself in the line of fire with a huge community that has gone through a lot of difficulties, and many of them are probably not so excited about it. So thank you. I raised my hand, and then I think you answered a lot of what I was going to ask already. But so just to clarify, what you're looking to do is recreate the database, like have us re-register in the same way that we registered, and recreate the tree, and you would be asking for no fresh funds. Is that correct?
Yeah, and that's right. Because at the end of the day, with such a large database, I can really just go out to large companies and say, hey, can I just, do a collaboration with you, right? As these young influencers would say. So the time that everybody has and the attention that everybody's giving is value. We need to value that, right? And the thing is, the database that we restructured together as the hyper community is only the beginning. Because if I'm able to rebuild trust with you guys, then who knows? Our million-plus community will be tens of millions or hundreds of millions in the future. And I want everybody to be benefiting from the growth of the community. And what better way to grow it than through affiliate marketing?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
Hi, Sam. Thank you very much for taking your time out to attend these calls. So my question, Sam, is more around the liquidity of the overall structure. What we were always told is that you were kind of very heavily involved in the crypto space, mining, one of the big big miners in the world and so forth. Clearly that market's taken a massive hit. So I was just wondering, what is the liquidity for the business? And you mentioned that there's some funds in there that run out at the end of this year, 2023. Is there enough liquidity, whatever the, let's say, starting point, the 1 times is, in your view, what is the liquidity to be able to pay that out? Is it there, do you think? What's your confidence levels in being able to have the liquidity to pay that out?
Firstly, it's not me who defines 1 times, right? We have to be clear on that. If anything I say, and this is, I've taken legal advice before coming on these Zooms, right? And they've gone through all my contracts between Hypertech and all the related entities, and they're like, Sam, you're clear, just don't disclose more than what needs to be disclosed beyond the NDA. So my objective really is to say that in a situation where we run into liquidity issues, as long as we're transparent with a group of investors, the investors will always give us more money, right? That's just how businesses work, right? If we fail as entrepreneurs, the cornerstones, as long as they can see how we failed, will always be in a position to either back us or introduce us to more people that will put in fresh funds, but in the form of equity, right? So this whole bringing money from a membership solution is, not something that I'm really familiar with, right? So the objective really is, if we look at mining as an example, especially Bitcoin mining, that has nothing to do with hyper community. We have to be clear on that. This is a very old business model that we have started and built since 2014. We were the first listed Bitcoin miner. Actually, it was the first listed company that was related to blockchain, right? So that listed on the Australian Stock Exchange back in 2014. So that was a significant achievement for us back then. But again, the messaging that I've tried to explain to leadership first is that a lot of the materials in the presentation was misrepresented, because it was representing our past success as part of the hyper community, and we were giving away money out of our past success. Now, firstly, even if we wanted to do that, we're not legally able to do that, because that past success belongs to different partnerships, different investor groups, and what we need to do is create fresh opportunities for the community, you know, in order to share that with the community. So I want to do that transparently moving forward. But right now, in terms of where things sit, you know, we have to understand that liquidity is only a question that corporate can answer, because I've done more than my part to provide plenty of liquidity, right? And somehow, some way, that didn't go to membership, and I don't understand why.
Thanks, Pardip. If you've got any other questions, Pardip, just come around the circle, yeah? Satpi, want to submit yourself? I think we can hear you now.
You can hear me, okay. So Sam, appreciate you coming on today, but to be honest, somebody who doesn't know the crypto world or everything you're saying, to me, it's gone through one and out the other. So for me, it's about the fact that we had members that joined into Hyperverse as a 20-month membership, hoping that they were going to get something out of it ×3 to start off with. Then it went to ×4. People for me, it was like friends and family, putting a bit of their pension, bit of their savings to make a little bit of money. And then come April, nothing. We signed on a lot of people, so nobody's seen anything. Now we're in a living crisis at the moment, and these people want some money. They want some of the money that they put in. We've got no real answers. What you're saying today, I can't interpret that and explain it to my members. So how do I tell them in plain English what is going on and what are you really doing? Obviously, you have no data. You can't tell us, but what can you tell us? You've come on, you've shown your face, lovely face, you're smiling, but I can't sleep at nighttime. You can. You made your billions. For me, it's about these people we signed on who are family and friends and parents who thought would help with their pensions, who have small pensions. Now they're going to see nothing, and they put into your Hyperverse. And we did trust you. This is no threats or anything, like, you know, to you, but we trusted you like you're trying to trust your, you know, members as well, like people that trust into you and put their money in and their life savings in, and we've seen nothing. So what do I tell my downliners? I mean, I've come on today, I don't understand anything, but what do I tell my downliners? That they're asking me now, when can we play? It's okay to say over HVT, which is a small amount, but they've only put in, they're only passive. They weren't team builders. So I need more answers when you're saying by the end of 2023. So we're waiting another 12 months when we've already been waiting 9 months.
Firstly, I really appreciate that question, because, you know, hard questions need to be answered, right? I didn't come here to just listen to people thanking me and cheering me on, right? The objective now is to really come towards a solution. So let's put it this way, right? If everybody in leadership, after I've communicated with everyone, decides to, no, Sam, it's too late. We don't trust you. We're not helping you rebuild the tree or the database, you know, then guess what, right? I don't really have a solution for you guys. You know, because you know, that's your job as leaders. You know, you could influence everybody to not cooperate, and that's fine, right? But you know, if there is no cooperation, then, you know, I've done my bit. You know, yes, you've trusted me, you've used me in pitch decks, you've broadcasted my previous interviews that I've given in various media and various forms, but, you know, at the end of the day, right, I have been in this industry for so long, and I've never been as disappointed as I am today, right? With something that I have been a part of, right? I'm like looking at things, you know, well, you know, something I created in the past, now it's a top 10 token, great, right? Sure, it's lost 95% of the value from the top, but so has everything else, right? But before it lost 95% of value, it went up 1,000 times, right? So you know, no one cares that they've lost 95%, as long as if 1,000x's, it's still a 50x, right? So I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that people who got in with me made considerable amounts of money. And the reason they've made considerable amounts of money is because we're in an industry that is so close to creating value. And it's a new form of value that regulators are welcoming, you know, more and more every single day. So I don't see there is a problem with scarcity. You know, the community, if aligned, is something that I can utilize to create an enormous amount of value. But that's the thing, right? We need alignment. And that's why I'm having these Zooms. That's why I'm spending this time, right? Because I realized sooner or later, you know, people are starting to, you know, people are going to keep asking questions, right? And if I am in a position to be strong and drive from the front, then everybody's going to get answers, right? If I am not strong enough, right, and I go along with the narrative that is more and more true every day and just hide, then, you know, that doesn't help anyone. You know, I am here to take pressure off you. If you need to deal with your team, right, deal with it with me. I'm sure we'll be able to set up a time, set up a Zoom, and hear the community, you know, and you know, in all its rawest, purest form, their frustration, right? Because guess what? You know, now you have me to be at the front with you, and that is better than dealing with this and not understanding the technology and not understanding how, you know, money's made in this industry, and being at the front and not giving them answers because you don't have the answers, right? I don't have the answers, but at least now I'm here. I'm here to deal with this with you in front of your community anytime.
Brilliant, Sam. Thank you. Just Alberto, if you don't mind, I'm going to move you at the bottom because you've already asked a question. We're going to keep you in the loop, but I just want to give priority to people that haven't. So that's why I'm going to be moving in a bit. Marianne, go for it, my dear.
Thank you, Sam, for being here. I have more of an input for you as opposed to a question, because it sounds like you also want to fact find on what is working. And the membership that was created in Hyperverse is made up of the leaders that you want, that have built the trees and built the data bank, etc. But I also want you to be aware of there's going to be, my guesstimation, probably 80% of people that just came in, bought a package, wanted to see a return on their investment and did not want to build a team. So Hyper Cosmo as a solution fell, in my opinion, flat because they look for people to become strictly builders. They look for fresh funds, which a lot of people are like, I already gave lots, I'm not giving any more. So I like what you say, that you want to use the data bank of the membership to put in front of future investors to build something saying, hey, I got 1 million+ people that would be interested in your product. So I like that. I also want to thank you for still being here, because I've done different investments and companies have just disappeared, and that there's no hope of getting anything back when they disappear. So I think of just input from me as far as I feel that the majority of what the membership wants is a solution, whether it be a new hyper whatever, to no new money, reward us for what we have sitting in Hyperverse, so that we can maybe move one for one and start building fresh again from that. So I don't have really a question. I just wanted you to be aware of this, that there is builders but there's also the passive. There's a lot of passive people that want to move forward to something where they can generate income down the road. So thank you again for putting yourself out there.
Thank you. Joe, let me just unmute you.
Can I please respond?
Oh,
Just
sorry,
real-
Sam. Apologies. Yeah.
I really appreciate Marianne's feedback. I understand there's a lot of passive, right? And that's what I want to recreate. I want to recreate a lot of passive with people putting in no money, right? And guess what? The first couple of tokens that we created was airdropped to a community, and somehow it had value, and somehow it's I can't name which ones, but they're still floating around top 30, top 50, and you know why? It's because of consensus. It's because everybody agreed that it had value. So my objective is nothing happens without a community in this market. The community is the most valuable thing. I recognize that. And what I am wanting to do is make sure that we're front and center, and I'm able to advocate to building out a community that I can get. You have to understand, people have done tokens with me in the past. They'll do more tokens with me in the future. And you know what? They'll do it with business models this time, right? Not just some layer one a solution that, if people use a blockchain, then we get gas fees. None of that. We're talking about real companies using tokenomics to bring rewards to consumers, right? That I think is where the next bull market sits. We need to be at the forefront of receiving those rewards. And if we don't have a large database of people that these these companies can tap into as consumers, then unfortunately my position is very weak, right? And hopefully with a large enough database, we're able to airdrop tokens that will go up 1,000x to a large database, and you guys will then be able to say to your communities, you see, we brought you this, and sure, when you got it, it was worth nothing, but now it's worth something, and every little bit helps.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks for asking that question, Marianne. Joe, do you want to unmute yourself?
Hi.
Hiya.
When you're talking about rebuilding the tree, I'm not sure I strictly understand how you would like us to do that. When you're talking about re-registering in the rough order that we did, in what way do you mean? I mean, sending a link to yourself to re-register and then sending it to your team? I'm not sure I understand how.
Yeah, so you just sign up with a link and then just get your direct sign up and get what
you mean within the Hyperverse platform? Use the Hyperverse platform links?
No. This has nothing to do with Hyperverse.
Right.
I've already explained very clearly, I don't have visibility into that database.
Then what link are you referring to?
So that is something that I will construct in the back end.
Right. Perfect. Okay. Sorry,
okay.
I didn't understand.
Because the thing is, it's like I can't just drop a link here right now.
No,
because
of course,
then
I understand that.
Everybody will sign up under me, and that's not helpful because the thing is, right? A company. Let's take, when I was 17 years old, I got invited to an Amway event, right? It was a lot of fun, but, that was the only event I went to because, I'm a technical guy. They're saying, oh, if you like the event, bring your friends. I'm like, I have no friends. So I'm in a position where, look, the way I think this will roughly work is you just bring your directs in, and then they bring their directs in, and et cetera, et cetera. Because Amway as a business model, the company makes money, leadership makes money, the consumers consume, right? And of course, if the consumers, consume great products, well, they are benefiting themselves anyways. So what I'm saying is, as a business model, that is very, very straightforward. That is what I want to deliver, but with a crypto twist, with a tokenomic twist in the future, right? So the objective really is, I need to now reach out to you guys, right, and rebuild that tree. It's not going to be perfect, but that's all I can do, right? Because at the end of the day, I don't have access to the database. But this is until, corporate says to me, Sam, we need to solve this problem and we need to solve it together, right? Unfortunately, until that happens, I'm now having to make you guys do a little bit more work, right? And just reach out to you guys and say, hey, this is how we do it.
That's absolutely fine. It just, maybe I missed it on earlier in the call, but for me, there just wasn't that thing that said, this is what I'm going to do. When you were talking about rebuilding the tree, it just sounded like you wanted us to re-register on the Hyperverse. But now that you've expressed that, I understand completely to be waiting until you create the thing. So thank you.
Thank you. Teruel, sorry, apologies if I mispronounced your name. Teruel?
Teruwai, it's fine. Teruwai, that's what people call me. Actually, my question was the same as the person before, but then because I want to support the community in recovering and also being able to still participate. Do you have a timeline for this project, Sam? For building the database?
That, I think, can happen quite quickly, right? we do have the technology to do that. But building the database is not the main priority. The main priority, the database is going to be created regardless, whether it's existing members or new members, right? Because I think there's a lot of excitement in people understanding that we can potentially build, a real business that leverages other real businesses that are looking to do, a tokenomic, right? So my objective now is, knowing that there is enough momentum and, everybody thinks it's a great idea to sign up for free, right? And give at least a little bit of time to do that, then I just have to get to work, what I mean by getting to work is really committing to, in this kind of market condition, convincing the companies that are interested in this space and probably have, dabbled with, for example, NFTs, right? To go, hey, instead of selling, useless pictures, right, that have no residual value, how about we do, XYZ? And I want to explore what XYZ is with the community moving forward. It just requires a little bit of time.
Okay. So you just need time to create what you need to do, and then somehow, I suppose that's my question as to how will you inform us about this project moving forward?
Oh, easy. I'll just do another Zoom with you guys.
All right. Okay. All right.
Thank you. Before I unmute you, Emma, just to let MD and Sajad know, I can only bring you onto the spotlight if your videos are on. Otherwise, Zoom won't allow me to do that, yeah? So you're going to have to put your videos on to be added. Emma, you want to submit yourself? Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Thanks, Emma.
Oh, hello, everyone. Sam, you said a while ago that you are morally compromised, but you are not legally compromised. And just a little bit before, you said you don't have any friends. So I would like to know what that means to you, to be morally compromised. How important is for someone who doesn't have friends to be morally compromised? Because being legally uncompromised means you are home and dry. So please let me know.
When I said I don't have friends, I mean I didn't have friends to bring to Amway when I was 17, right? I was, a very shy boy. So I was able to, get out of my shell and be front and center in this industry only because, this industry needed champions. It needed people to explain simple questions, as in, what is Bitcoin? What is Bitcoin mining? And how do I get some, right? So we've made a lot of people a lot of money just getting them into Bitcoin, So
you didn't answer the question. The question was, what means to you to be morally compromised? This is what you said, yeah?
Yeah.
So please answer my question.
Of course. Morally compromised is you guys sold me to a community of people that thought they were investing in my vision. And we all need to take responsibility here. We all need to take responsibility here. I'm here to take responsibility for my part, and so should you.
I appreciate you are here to take all the shit for everyone involved in this business, yeah? And I appreciate that. It's not a easy thing to do, to be in front of a community and to take all the shit, yeah? But you are legally uncompromised, so you are safe. You are safe. Legally, you are safe.
I've always been safe, okay? Let's be clear. I've always been safe. You have to understand, right? If I'm not safe, I would not be able to be in a position to stand here in front of the community and help and put together a solution, right? If I'm not safe, I wouldn't be able to be in a position to help you. So
yes.
Let's be clear, right? I am safe.
Yeah.
Everyone in the community is now safer because I'm here, right? Everybody here is safe anyways, but my point is, right, you now have the ability to direct the community's anguish and disappointment towards me, right? Because I'm here now.
Yes, you are here now. We are safe, but we lost money. I don't know about you, but we lost money and you are safe. And I was asking you, what means to you to be morally compromised? Because this is what you said.
Well, and it's very... Sorry, go ahead.
Emma, what I'm going to do is I'm going to...
No, unmute her. Unmute her, please. Okay, let's finish. I want to hear what she has to say, please. Thank you.
Emma?
Yes, I want to hear your answer. It's an emotional thing. We talk here a lot of technical things and technical things without not a real answer. Yes, I want to hear from you, from a human being to another human being, what means to you to be morally compromised. Your words. Please, Sam, answer. Or answer yourself.
I'll answer. Right? It's very simple. Those are my words. right? And if I did not make money for people in a bull market, I make them money in the next bull market. And that's how I have a fucking balance sheet in my mind that I need to look after the people who believe in me, right? But that requires us to have a legal contract directly, and not just some, membership platform that I have very little visibility on, right? It is unfortunate that I did not take control of a situation when it got out of control. But, I trusted people that are very close to me. And when you've made money with them in the last 3 bull markets, you expect them to deliver and to perform with you, right? Together. And that is the biggest disappointment, that, people put their hands up, right? And when they can't deal with enough shit, when they cannot deal with the shit anymore, they just put their hands up, right? And now the thing is, right, there are plenty of people in this community that obviously are not in the position to deal with shit, right? I believe I'm in a position because, I still have so much to give to this world, right? I'm not old enough to put my hands up, right? I'm not fragile enough to put my hands up, and I am strong emotionally and mentally. So, you know what? Morally compromised means that if I've made a mistake and I lost people money, right, and they have a contract with me, I make it back. I make them whole in the next market, in the next bull market, right? But it requires a plan. It requires, a fully transparent plan that we all agree to, right? And that did not happen, right? Because firstly, I trusted people, right? And I still believe, hope that they will deliver on my trust. But I am morally compromised because I feel like I don't have the ability to do anything right now because I don't even know what 1x is, what they promised, and what the data, what the database structure is like. So this is my first step. I need to create a database to advocate for everyone, right? And hopefully that first step will lead to a second step, as long as we're all able to come together with some great ideas.
Thank you, Sam. Emma, thank you for asking such an important question again. Okay, sorry, I'm not sure what your name is. It just says iPhone. Do you want to unmute yourself?
Hi, Nadeem.
Hi, Nadeem.
Hi, Sam. Thanks for being on the call. Just a quick question here. So you say you're going to create a database, which you can create fairly quick. Once the database is completed, so the next step, you say you're going to calibrate with the 100 of your company, or it's going to be outside company, and how long does that gonna take?
I'm not going to set any timelines, because timeline seems to be, a huge disappointment in this community, right? So look, I'll create the software. It already exists, right? That everybody can just sign up and be a part of. And the objective next is really to understand what opportunities people are looking for, and for me to then go with my team to find those opportunities with legitimate companies, that are looking to explore tokenomics and, of course, distribution of value through the blockchain ecosystem, right? Because the biggest problem is consumers are not rewarded when they consume and increase the value of the company, right? That is the biggest problem, and it's not able to be solved before blockchain exists, because how do you reward your consumers, right? Through these little cards where they put a stamp, get 5 coffees and the 6th one free, right? Everything on a blockchain just moves a lot faster, so it's all about creating a holistic and rewarding ecosystem, and that starts with this community here, which was built by you guys. Sure, I was involved, but I think, considering that I was involved in a way that was very, very, very passive, right? And now I'm ready to be in a position to be on the other side of passive, right? Then I think there's magic down the road that we could all create together.
Thanks, Sam. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move things along a bit faster, because Sam, I really appreciate it. It's actually 2 a.m. for 2 a.m. in the morning for Sam at the moment. So Gerald, do you want to unmute yourself?
Hi, Sam. I guess you all hearing me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, Sam. Thanks really for coming to talk to the community. There are lots of questions as the things I want to ask, which have already been touched by others, especially regarding timelines. I know they've touched on the timeline regarding the database creation, but I want to look at timeline. My question, I want to probably tilt away from that and just ask about timelines now regarding ourselves in the community who've made contributions, because I think the key thing why we itchy to actually come in today is obviously to understand how and when we'll be able to actually get back the rewards, or even the 1x's that we actually invested into Hyperverse, Hyperphone, or Cosmos. I mean, I've not progressed to Cosmos anyway. But I understand you've equally probably kind of distanced yourself from knowledge of what the corporate is doing. And as community, we are community members. If there are problems between yourself and corporate, how do you think, because you said we can be part of that solution, what do you need from us? What do you want us to do to actually help us to help you? I think that is my question. What do you want us to do? We're listening to you today. There's obviously a journey. We'll be interested to know how soon we can get ourselves back to that position where we're revving to go to give you that button. We back on confident one to propel you to take the company to the next level. But if we don't come back to the level but where we're comfortable to do that, it becomes difficult. But if there is a journey and you want us to be part of that journey, what is our part? How can we help?
Sorry, Gerald, I'm just going to mute. I'm just conscious of time. Do you mind just asking just the question? That appreciate that. Apologies. I'll unmute you again, buddy.
Yeah, the question is, how can we help you to help us to get back to our normal positions?
Thank you, Gerald. I think I touched on this throughout this call, but just to be clear, right? First is I need leverage to help pressure corporate to deliver on their promise, right? And it's them who promised you guys 1x, right? And my job is to help apply that pressure. I could see that already happening, considering that, after 9 months of silence, that article came out. So it is, I think, a scramble for the benefit of the community that they feel that they have to do something now that I'm here with you guys, right? I'm on your side now, so they have to do something, right? So that's one. The other one is if I'm able to recreate roughly the Hyper community inside a database that I control, I'm able to advocate for the community in a much stronger way. So that is not a process that requires you guys to give me money, right? I don't want to do what has previously happened, which is, hey, you know, pay more money and be a part of this new thing. No. So once I have a database, I'm sure we're all smart enough to figure out how to utilize this database. And then finally, the third thing is, you know, I know I've created a track record of success, but that is because I had great mentors. I want everybody here to know that you guys have more experience leading a community than I have ever had. You know, and my capacity is more on technology and regulation of that technology. That's it, right? And for some reason or another, that has led to some amazing transactions that made a lot of our investors money through Hyperfund, right? And through other funds that, you know, I've been a general partner of. So, you know, my objective really is we could crowdsource the solution. I don't know what the solution is right now, but there is the ability to crowdsource that solution through the community once we have the database.
Thanks, Sam. Shiv, before I meet you, I'm just conscious of time. It's 2 o'clock in the morning for Sam. Sam, are you okay to carry on?
Of course.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much for making yourself available. Okay, Shiv, do you want to submit yourself?
And if anyone wants to take a break, please do so as well, because I know I'm here to answer questions, but if you guys need to take a break, please do.
Sam,
Sam, let's move on quickly.
You might want to have a glass of water or something, Sam. You got something that you can, that people can just switch their videos and have a break. Do you need a minute break? You okay?
I'm okay. Please.
Sorry, Shiv. Sorry to interrupt you, Shiv. Go for it.
Thank you very much, Sam, for coming on today. Now, I want to summarize what you've said. Two-pronged attack, okay? First of all, you need the community behind you to be able to have a voice, to go to corporate, to be able to extract whatever you can from them for us. And secondly, you want to take that community to the various industries to make sure that we have opportunities outside Hyperverse. Is that true?
That is correct.
So what sort of percentage of the community do you think you need on your side to be able to put those actions in place?
1%, because
Really?
we could always grow a community.
So
from
effectively, if you get the backing from, say, 50% of the community, you will be very strong and be able to speak with one voice for us.
Yes, because, you know, I understand that this is a process of building trust again. And, you know, I didn't build trust with Horrenda overnight. It was through many nights, many Zooms, explaining, you know, how I've created track record in this industry and delivered outcomes for my investors, right? So you know, I'm willing to go through that same process with you as well, right? Because it takes time, right? I only need a fraction of the community to believe in me so that I could, through this small fraction, rebuild trust. Because like it or not, you know, a lot of things have been said about me, and you know, I don't agree with all of it, but it's okay, right? But the thing is, right now, I only need a fraction of you guys to say yes. I'll dedicate a little bit of time to getting myself on the platform, my directs on the platform, you know, and move things forward. Because you know,
Sam,
at the end of the day, any
that,
company just needs a database.
I get that. But listen, you tell me something. What advantage do we have for you to be the voice of the community as opposed to someone like Keith Williams? I know the second part of the business, which you're saying, which you can develop another business with other corporate big industries. Yes, that perhaps Keith Williams hasn't got the skill. But to be able to negotiate directly with Hyperverse, wouldn't you say that someone like Keith Williams has got as strong a voice as you have?
Well, probably even stronger. Because at the end of the day, you know, I'm a terrible negotiator. I come from a technical background. I build businesses in a very logical way, right? And you know, to be honest, if I'm in a strong position, right, then this meeting wouldn't be happening.
I have total faith and trust in you as far as building businesses is concerned, but I don't have a great deal of faith in you being able to negotiate with the corporate team at Hyperverse.
Yeah, and I'm not here to mislead you on that point, right? My job is to be open, upfront, and transparent with the community so that the community can make up their own mind.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Shiv. Avtar, can you submit yourself?
Hi, Sam. Thank you for being here today with us. To be honest with you, I could give you another 30 questions, but I know time is limited, so I just wanted to say a couple of things. First of all, we know now 100% the agenda. You're here for the community, not for the community, but you want the community. Let's get that right. You're not here for the community, you want the community back. Because as you said, with the community, you can go forward to other businesses and things like that, which it doesn't sit well with many of us.
Of course.
Right. So there's an agenda that because let's be honest, for the last almost a year, you as a captain have been watching this ship sinking. People have been hurting in a real big, bad way. And you've done nothing but sat back and looking at it and looking at it, looking at it. And now guess what? As you said, I'm back. Yes, of course you're back. But there's an agenda behind you. You've come back because you want the community back. Now you said you're going to do something else. We've had MOF, we've had Cosmos, we've had all these coins. They've all failed. Something new you're going to start is again going to be what? It's going to be a new coin. What guarantee we got in there? Now going back to you people, as you said, you and Ryan, you were the whales, were the people that made Bitcoin in 2009. So you don't know about how the business works. You don't know there's a bear market, that you don't know there's a bull run. This is something new to you people. This is not new. You've done this many times. So this wasn't going to be new for you people that you're experiencing what it is. And now what you're going to do, and now you're saying the tree, you don't have to build it all up again. Let's go back to the tree that we all got businesses in Hyperverse or Hyperfund, whatever we had. So many people have so much money. Does that all disappear? But that's not the issue here. The money disappears not. The biggest agenda is you've come back, in my opinion, not to save the community, to use the community.
Okay. Thank you for your statement. All right. If I'm here to use the community and the community has no use for me, then this Zoom wouldn't happen. This meeting wouldn't happen. You know, if I have zero use for you guys, if my access and track record in this industry means nothing to you, then, you know, why am I here? So, you know, look, I've come here because I feel that there is value that I can bring. And you know, it's not easy to do what I'm doing right now, but I'm doing it because I feel that at least you guys need to have a choice to make, right? Whether to keep waiting or to just sign up so that you could wait not just for corporate, but for me to at least figure something out. That's all, right? So thank you for your statement. You know, if you know, I'm here to use the community and the community has no use for me, then they just don't sign up. That's fine.
You know what it is, Sam? You are using corporate to hide behind them. You and Ryan, we had a lot of trust in yourself and Ryan. It was all about yourself and Ryan, of what you had done, both of you, how it was built, the due diligence and all the Amazon videos and everything. Everything was about Ryan, you and yourself. Yeah, we believed in everything that was said to us. Now you are hiding behind corporate. Let's be honest. There was no such thing as corporate. You might put them in place, Ryan. You might put them in place, but you are 100% responsible for what is happening. You and Ryan, nobody else. You're trying to hide behind people's back. That's what you're doing here.
It's very easy for you to say the things you're saying right now.
It's very easy for you also to say, we'll move on, right? Yeah. How many times have we changed companies? How many times have we changed? Hyper fun, hyper this, hyper that. And guess what? We've always stuck with you. You keep on changing the goalpost. How many times? There's people hurting here, Sam. People have lost livelihoods. People have borrowed money. That's not your problem. That wasn't what you've done. You never put a gun to their head. But people are suffering in a big way. We've got a moment now, after over a year, to have a moment with yourself. People are suffering in a real big way, Sam. They trusted yourself and Ryan, and they came in. And now
I trusted the community to reach out to me, and guess what the community did, right?
It's taken a year for you to come to our platform?
Oh, look, at the end of the day, we got to find a solution for these people. And you saying the things you're saying right now, right, is not helping me find a solution. And if you feel I don't have a solution and I'm here to use the community, then guess what? I just don't sign up, right? I'm not here to put a gun to your head, right? I'm here to learn from you, who is an expert in affiliate marketing and has grown a significant community. That's why you're sitting here, right? Because you have to look after people. You have to look after their livelihoods, right? And if I'm not here for you, right? If I'm not here for you, right? Then I don't know why I'm here, right? If you feel that I don't have any value to add to you anymore, then you know what? There's plenty of opportunities out there. There's plenty of businesses out there, right? And there's plenty of other things you could do, right? You got your closure by being on this Zoom. Thank you very much.
Sam, I appreciate what you've just said there, but today, right as we speak, a lot of us didn't understand blockchain. A lot of us didn't understand cryptocurrency. But in today's, what we've understood, and now today as we're speaking, 2023, I think the ordinary person sitting on this platform could make money out of cryptocurrency now. We're in a very bear market. It's going to be a bull market coming up. I think anybody will make money in that. So if you're saying to us, join me now in the bear market, of course, next year you're going to make money. I think anybody could do that. So if that's what you're thinking, it's ridiculous. I really can't believe that that's what it's coming down to.
All the promises that you have received from corporate is an extension of our track record, but not an accurate representation of what I've been involved in. So let's be clear. I am now answerable to you because I'm in front of you for the first time.
Absolutely. You've been watching the ship sinking so badly. You've been watching people, the community, which is your community, right? Yeah. Some of us here on this leaders call, right? Yeah, have got a lot of feelings for each other. We've built a trust. We've built a bond between us. And the only one thing, if I had to take something out of this, right, out of Hyperverse Hyperfund, is we've made some relationships out of this. So I would thank you for that, because I wouldn't have met most of the people here. I've made some great friends out of here. So that's the one bloody thing I would like to thank you and Ryan for, that you've got us onto a platform and I've made some great friends. Apart from that, no, you've been sitting from afar watching us suffering, and now you want to step back in. Step back in, yes, fine. But don't just say you're going to do ABC and now you're going to talk to corporate and then you need 1% of the community or 2% of the community. That's not going to sit well with any of us. Yeah, corporate is you. You are corporate as far as I'm concerned. There's no corporate. You own the company. So who's corporate? Somebody you put in there. Simple.
Guys, I'm gonna move on because after you've made your point loud and clear, and we got it. Yeah, I just want to be fair to.
Hey, Harinder, can I say something? If
Yeah,
you don't mind.
go for it.
Sorry. I think Sam as a corporate or was a CEO of the company before can't say much. Okay, I'm sorry, I can't come on the video at the moment. I spent enough time with Sam. Now, what he's saying is right, but if he's if you put Sam's shoes, you will understand the situation. Sam didn't hide anywhere. That's what I thought. Sam, the corporate didn't let him come out. They said, we are doing next month. We are doing next month. We are giving the payment next month. And they promised you guys, it's coming next month. Hyperbond, Cosmos, they promised it. It wasn't Sam's. Sam can't say something as a CEO because it will create controversies. So it's easy to say what you're saying, Avtar, but Sam is not come out after what happened. Now, let me tell you one more thing, guys. So hopefully you all will understand this. All our leaders, they wrecked the ship and they moved on with different businesses. They didn't think about you. They didn't think about me. Sam didn't do that way. Sam was waiting for the solution, and if the corporate was promising him, right? Sam was giving enough money to those people. Sam clearly said that he had two companies. One is fund management, another one technology management. The fund management, legally, he released enough funds to pay us. The corporate didn't do that. Sam can't say this, but I'm telling you this, guys, this is a fact. There's a reason why Sam can't. Sometimes he's struggling to answer you guys because he has to be very careful with the words. So don't just, it's easy to tell him, oh, you did that. Most of the people moved on with different businesses, didn't even think about the community. At least Sam is here and promising, I'm here to look after you guys. Just go with the plan. Simple as that. I don't think, this is what I know, because most of you guys don't know what Sam all about or what he went through. But I know that's the reason I'm telling these answers. Here we go. That's it. Right, Harinder? Thanks, buddy.
Sam, thank you so much for saying that. I'm going to, Avtar, if this space, not space, so there's time at the end, you can come back. But it's not fair on Kay and Prab and Sajad and the other guys waiting. Yeah. But thank you, Avtar, because, you got every right to share what you shared. And that's how you feel. And, we respect that. And Gobi, thanks for intervening there. Kay, you want to meet yourself?
Hi, I'm unmuted. Hi, Sam. First of all, you are going to thank you for coming on the call tonight. It's a difficult call. It's the first call, and there are a lot of emotions. And I am glad that people like Sabti and Emma and Avtar have expressed how upset, scared, and angry people are, because they really are. Because people have lost a lot of money. But my kind of I haven't really got a question. I've got more of a request, actually. And that is, I feel like we're all between a bit of a rock and a hard place, including you. I don't know if you realize this, but we're not network marketers. We're just normal people. So I'm a doctor, there's other doctors, there's pharmacists, there's tennis coaches, there's business people. So the vast majority of us on this call are not professional network marketers. We kind of came into this through a friend. We got our friends and family involved, we got their friends and family involved, etc. So, and when we were, explaining about Hyperverse to people or Hyperfund as it was then, the response we tended to get from people was, no, I'm not getting involved in that crypto. People lose money in that crypto. No, it's just a scam. It's this, it's that. And unfortunately, we seem to have proven them right so far, because the vast majority of people have not been able to get their money out, at least their 1x out. Okay, so I told a few of my members today that we were coming on this call tonight, and we're all optimistic and we're all really pleased to have this call. But the overwhelming kind of feeling is, if we can get the 1x out, if we can restore trust, then we'd be willing to follow you, and go on to other projects, etc. So my plea is, and my request is, to please keep working with corporate, because in my team, for example, I'd say only 20 to 30% of people would come with me onto something new. if they couldn't get the 1x out from Hyperverse. So I just encourage you to keep working with corporate. And I think it's quite a surprise to all of us that you are quite disjointed from corporate, because we thought you were part of corporate. Yeah, so that's just my request really. And I was just making you aware that we're not network marketers, and that, you know, we've got to try to get that 1x out to move forward onto new projects, so that then we can all, you know, become profitable.
Thanks, Kate.
The reason why I am sticking by the NDAs that I've signed is because, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not here to break contract with corporate. You know, I mentioned that I trust and I still hope there to be a positive outcome from corporate. So you know, they know how easily I'm accessible to them, and just like how easily I'm going to be accessible to everyone after this call. And of course, if there is follow-on questions, because I understand everybody's just asking one question, and the question might lead to more questions, and you want more time to sit and go through, you know, more questions. I'm willing to do that, right? I'm willing to do that in front of you, one-on-one, in front of the community that you guys lead, right? As long as you guys are willing to give me the time. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Kay. Prab, do you want to just unmute yourself?
Yep. Hi, Sam. Again, thanks for being here, for everyone. Thanks for all your questions and all the answers. My question might be a bit of a silly one, but it's more just to try and build that trust back up. You mentioned that we sold you on the presentations and your previous enterprises, possibly not 100% accurately. You know, back when we were building a community, when we were making then Hyperfund and then Hyperverse. The reason why Hyperfund or then Hyperverse was created was sort of changed as the presentations evolved. There were mentions about floating on the stock exchange and things like this. So I guess what I really want to know is sort of more of an official answer, if you can give, as to why the reasons Hyperfund and then Hyperverse was created, and why we're all here, and why we actually sold this to all of our downlines. So we can go with the concrete answer as to, you know, why we're here, what it was sold as, and what, you know, then we can look forward to what we're going to be doing next.
So when Hyper as an affiliate model was created, we believed that there were a lot of people that are coming into this industry blind, without the knowledge and education and the connections to do well from this very lightly regulated industry. So the original structure was, why don't we manage people's money, but not through you know, a traditional fund? Because if it's through a traditional fund, then we don't want to really be talking to people who have less than $100,000 to give, right? Because the cost of, you know, onboarding people is just too high. So how do we get mass market participation and a community to create consensus? So I still truly believe that you know, moving forward in the next market condition, you know, the next bull market condition, consensus is more efficiently created through a you know, network marketing or affiliate marketing model. And I want to be in a position to put you know, this community at the forefront of the next bull market. You have to understand, like, every single token was introduced by the first issuing the token and then sharing it amongst some friends, and then the friends continue to keep sharing until, you know, we all reach a consensus that it has value. You know, that's how Bitcoin came to be, right? It was through a post on a forum by Satoshi, right? Of, this is my 9-page white paper and let's do it. Let's go for it, right? So you know, that model no longer works because greedy people will always be the first in and the first out, right? The model moving forward has to have an affiliate model to have any kind of scale. So given that this is a community of over 1 million people, given that there are 8 billion people in the world, and there's an opportunity to grow the community in the right way moving forward, right, with full transparency, I believe that as long as I can get a fraction of you guys to come with me on that journey, this will be a great outcome, right? And the frustration again, and I just want to reference what Gobi said, is that I have consistently been led to believe, and I still believe, in corporate's ability to deliver. But, you know, given that enough time has passed, I need to make my own position known. And that's what I'm doing right now, to the community, to really give access to the community to my network, all right, and my access, so that we're able to really compartmentize the opportunity in a correct way moving forward. Because there was disjointed structures where the funds and the membership structure were in two separate entities. And that led to all of this, right? Now, moving forward, what you're doing is you're dealing with me directly. I will have full contracts in place to deal with you guys directly, because that's how I always dealt, right? So again, you know, you know, I understand not everybody's willing to move forward, and that's fine. But my objective is really to be in this forum, to answer your questions, so that you guys could make yourself a decision, right? And if one question and one answer is not enough, then I invite everybody to talk to me directly, and that could, you know, be organized over the next couple of weeks.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Prab. Guys, I'm just going to remind everybody that some questions might be duplicate, and if your questions have already been asked, then this call is being recorded. So I'm going to, rather than have Sam repeat what he's already said, I might say to you, look, just listen to the recording. So Jar, do you want to unmute yourself? Thank you.
Hi, Sam. Thank you, firstly, for coming on and really taking on everyone's questions. I know it's very uncomfortable, but there's about 150 people on this call, and they've all supported thousands of other people that they've brought on board. My question to you is, I mean, we've got 1 million people in this community, and it was thriving. You know, corporate has taken something like 4 billion in funds, and what they've done with those funds. And I get that there's a lot of people here that just want 1x back, just to have that. I think Kay mentioned it earlier on. How do we get that 1x back to them to get some leverage? I mean, there's 150 people that were on this call that still have some kind of belief, maybe not 100%, but they still have some belief that, you know what, so we're going to get it. You know, the market is really tough. How would you kind of, I know that you are here and it's difficult for you. It's 2 o'clock in the morning where you are right now in Australia.
Dubai. Are
you in Dubai? Sorry. Oh, I'll have to come and visit you because I visit there quite a lot. But from your perspective, what can we do? Because we want some answers. We want to get at least 1x back. Maybe the question's been answered before, but I'll ask it again.
Jad, sorry, the question has been answered twice before. So,
okay.
No, I'll just answer again because it's good practice, right? I need to keep my answers consistent, right? Look, I want to be helping everybody get some answers, right? And if you know, I got resistance from some of the community members saying, you know, just let corporate sort it out. You know, don't deal with this matter because they know what they're doing, right? But that was then, right? And this is now, right? I've let enough time pass by, and the objective really is, okay, how do we drive a solution with corporate, right? And I'm willing to work with corporate. It's just I'm not getting the transparency I need to deal with it. And of course, I understand there will be a portion of the community that will say I'm hiding behind corporate. I understand fully that's what it looks like. But you know, at my stage right now, it's like I don't care if people are thinking that I'm hiding behind corporate, because you know, that is not the truth, firstly, and secondly, my objective is to deliver transparency, and you know, of course, I'm not giving all the answers everybody needs, but at least it's a start, right? And you know, I'm willing to work with you guys. I'm willing to work with corporate, but the objective is to just make my position known so that you guys have a starting point to your decision-making process for 2023.
Right. So in terms of your decision-making process, does that help us to get the 1x back? Is there a plan that you have in place? And what is that plan? So you, from what I understand, you're more technical than business development.
My plan is independent of what corporate promised you guys, right?
Okay, so this is something that you're doing off your own back, out of your own goodwill.
No, it's not off my own goodwill. It's, you know, I'm morally compromised, right? So again, you know, I understand there's people who don't sleep well at night, right? But I also don't sleep well at night. Of course, there will be people who, you know, are not sleeping, you know, as well as me. They're worse off than me. I get it, but you know, I'm hoping to change that situation, right? And it all starts by first getting on this call, and then just making my position known so that you guys could come up with a list of questions based on these answers to have another call.
No, I appreciate that. And, you know, for us, just so you know, for me, seeing you on this call, it's like, wow, you know, there's a lot of sleepless nights. I mean, for you to be on here, brave enough to answer some of the people on here, which is really great. You know, for a lot of us, it's 6 months too late, but you know what, you're here now, which is the most important thing. And thank you, Harinder, for organizing this as well. And I really appreciate that. I'll let somebody else have a go now. Thank you very much, Sam.
Thank you, Sam. Barbara, do you want to unmute yourself, please?
Yeah, thanks again, Sam. Everybody, thank you. Two things I want to clarify. Number one, we came on this corporate call or this call with different expectations, I guess. And that's one of the biggest reasons I think there's some anger happening. But I'd like to offer some solutions. And I know obviously you're solution-based, and that's what we're all looking for here. You continue to state that you made lots of money and you think that there's enough money in here and you can't understand why the money isn't paid back to membership. And I understand you feel that you don't have enough leverage and a voice within the corporate structure, that you're on the other side of that. There's many, many organizations that have done friendly takeovers. Is this a corporation that we can do that? Can we go in there and all become board members and have a say in how this money is actually coming back to this membership? That's number one. Or number two, do we need to take a class action lawsuit to have, if you say that there's money in there that just simply hasn't been paid back to us and you don't understand why, that's a class action lawsuit that we should be taking.
So
how is the corporate structure done so that we can get back and take control of the corporate decision?
Firstly, you know, a takeover will require taking over liability, right? That is why I'm not willing to be in that situation where, you know, I take on the 1x promise that corporate is making, because that is a promise that is made, and only corporate has visibility of what 1x is. So you know, it's like there are companies that go bankrupt all the time because their liabilities exceeds assets, right? And now they've stated to me in multiple board meetings that they're waiting on a few transactions to go through and market conditions to improve. But you know, at the end, you know, where I stand is I'm here to at least apply pressure and be in a position to create value, right? And the thing is, by starting this process of recreating the database, it allows me to begin to put, you know, opportunities in front of everyone, you know, that costs nothing, because you have to understand, everybody's attention is value. As long as I'm able to monetize that value in the right way, everybody here will benefit. And
I appreciate that, Sam. And I know you went into this in great detail.
the other thing about class action, right? You know, lawyers need to look at receiving something at the end of that class action, right? And if there is not a solid structure to go after, then how do you even begin, right? But if you want to begin that class action, right, will that class action be stronger with me helping or not, right? That's what you have to think about, right? And if me helping will make that stronger, I'm more than willing to help. But right now, my objective is to at least get some visibility from corporate to help corporate deliver on your 1x. That is my situation right now.
And I appreciate that. I think all of us on this call appreciate that. I guess I would echo what a lot of people have said, you know, why wait this long? You know, I appreciate the fact that you're trying to offer another opportunity for us. For many of us, we've gone off to other things because we've had to pay our bills, and we found some very lucrative things. So, you know, as far as bringing a membership in that you can, you know, tap into a database, I think for many of us that, you know, we're past that. If there was honestly a way, and I don't see that from what I hear from you with the corporate structure, you don't feel that there's really a way that otherwise it would have been done, I guess. Keith Williams, you know, I mean, all the nodes, everybody else has tried to do this. We've been promised, you know, week after week, month after month, that we're going to, you know, at least get 1 times back. You know, is this a dead horse? And, you know, therefore we go on our merry way, whether it's through your offer of, you know, because of your expertise, former expertise, that you can airdrop and do some things that will increase the value when we work with you. But I just keep hearing there really isn't a way that we can get to corporate, and there's not really a way that we can access them to put their heels to the fire and get the money back.
Well, I'm trying here, and hopefully, you know, whatever ways you guys are doing it will be able to be shared with me so that I'm able to try new things, right? The objective is to pressure and achieve an outcome for everyone. So yeah, look, I think this is the only beginning of the communication. Let's keep communication going, right? Because this is very early in the discovery phase, and this is all I can offer at this stage.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hi, Chris, you want to unmute yourself?
Hi, Sam. Thank you for being brave enough to come onto this call. A lot of friendships and families have been broken up because of Hyperverse. Hence why you have emotional people like Avatar come on the call and say what he said. I think what we mostly need as a community is some direction, because we are all, at the moment, it's all over the place. And so from what I understand from this call, you want to create something new for the community to move them forward. So in your honest opinion, yeah, I don't know whether you can answer this or not, Hypernation and Hypercosmos have been told to be the solution to Hyperverse, right? And that's what, some of us have held back, not knowing whether to do so and get onto Hypernation. In your honest opinion, is Hypernation or Hypercosmos then not the way to go? Instead, come on board with whatever new you're creating.
Firstly, I want to say that I trust that things will go right and people will be made whole by corporate. So, I've seen these partners of mine, time and time again, pull a rabbit out of a hat. So, it does take time, I guess, so I still have hope that this is part of the solution. But my objective now is to really create something that is not just based on hope. It's based on real partnerships and real revenue, right? So let me go through that process of discovery, right? So that I can understand how to utilize this community as we continue the growth of this industry. I hope I'm still able to provide value and use, right, to the community. But that takes time. That takes time for me to go through that discovery phase.
Thanks, Sam.
Thanks, Chris. Tim, do you want to unmute yourself?
Hi, Sam. Thanks for coming on the Zoom. These are just a question I had from my team, and that was, please can you ask them how are they able to continue trading new investors on their alternative product when we haven't had our 1x back?
Sorry, my connection's not strong. Can you ask that question again?
Sure. So the question was, how are they able to continue trading and offering higher returns to new investors on their alternative product when we haven't had our 1x back?
I don't have any visibility.
Okay. And the reason why you don't have that visibility is that because you've been sidelined, Sam, and this is your way of almost disconnecting yourself from corporate and deciding to, right, how can I make amends? I'll build up a new database because of my fallout with the fellow partners.
So, I'm here to go through a process of discovery, right? Because I don't have a solution right now. My objective really is to be in a position to advocate for you guys and to, see what we could do together, right? So there are plenty of leaders that brought opportunities forward, right? You know what? I could deliver on those opportunities and execute them at, 1/10 of the cost, because, there is already infrastructure that I have that is ready to go to, to bring everything together, right? And so hopefully what I'm able to do is drive an outcome on behalf of the community, without asking for the community to contribute anything, because I'm obligated to deal with this regardless of whether I'm legally liable or not.
Okay, thank you, Sam. And just one question that's just come to me right now. If let's just assume that we start a new venture with you, we create a new database, and with any joint venture, you always want the other partner to have skin in the game. So my question to you would be, what sort of skin in the game will you have for us?
Well, my my reputation is already very mixed online, so this is what I need to do, right? I'm not going into this market to not deliver if I'm in front of you guys, right? The thing is, for a lack of visibility, because I don't understand as much as you guys do on, the affiliate marketing side of the business. I have achieved and delivered on the outcomes from my side. But at the end of the day, my skin in the game is, redemption and legacy, right? And that's the thing. We have built technology that is worth tens of millions of dollars. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of hours have gone into building such solutions that I could just replicate if that helps. So my objective is how can that plus more be utilized for the benefit of this community right here.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Tim. Mahesh, would you like to meet yourself?
Hi, Sam. So I've been listening quite intently throughout the whole thing, and it seems like you have a conscience that you need to fulfill, I guess. And it's a couple of things. So worst case scenario and best case scenario is what I'm thinking in my head. So best case scenario, if I'm correct, is that with this call, with this meeting, and with your intent of creating your own organization structure through the community already existing within Hyperverse with us, would put pressure on corporate, who sounds like obviously you've what's the word? Obviously you're not it hasn't set well with you, that they haven't been transparent, so forth with yourself. So it will give that kind of pressure on them to fulfill their promise. And would, in the worst case scenario, would you, because you mentioned about funds as well, that that you have funds which are gaining maturity, and at the end of the I believe 2023 it will gain. If, for example, corporate do not fulfill on their promise after all this time, obviously we're hoping they would, given all that's happening now as well. But if they don't, would you consider, taking on that promise at the end of 2023, if you gain more visibility, or after you gain visibility, with the, with the first step you're going to take in recreating that tree and structure and analyzing and seeing for yourself, is, if it's feasible to do that? Is that something you could, fulfill? So that's basically my question. And the best case scenario is, well, I'm thinking is that they do fulfill the promise, and you have that tree of structure, would you, would you still consider taking them on board? People who sounds like you lost trust with, to be honest. Would you, basically it'll be the Sam leadership, by the sounds of it, going forward. And would you take on the previous guys who we've lost faith in now, and obviously bring them on board as well as us? Obviously, it's not something we, that basically that's my kind of question, really. Those two questions, if you can answer that.
So you could always be good friends but not work together. So it all depends on how things play out, I guess. But the value that corporate brings is unique, but in the sense of networks, it's overlapping. So we all we all know roughly the same people, and how we could create value together. So my objective is to drive an outcome, and I'm legally obligated at this point in time to basically take whatever monies that is yet to reach maturities and hand it over, right? And that distribution is not in my hands. So if we're in a position to recreate the tree and gain some visibility, then I could pressure them to not uphold my legal obligations, because what happened last time when I uphold my legal obligations, you guys didn't get your payouts, right? So there's things that we could do. We just need to set another time and do another Zoom, because it is getting a little bit late for me here.
Sam, you've answered my thanks, Mahesh. You've answered my next question. It's actually, I'm going to just finish off with the people that are on the screen, because with all due respect, it's actually 3 o'clock in the morning for Sam. And Sam, you've been so generous. So let's just finish off with Ronald, Happy, and Gary. And apologies, Shiv, Joe, and Alberto, but you have already had opportunities to ask questions. I just really want to respect Sam's time. He needs his sleep as well. And again, it just shows his commitment to want to be here for us, the fact that he's up until 3. So Ronald, over to you.
There you are. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I take a different perspective. I like to wait and see those things filter out. I'm an international contractor and consulting expert for the insurance and bonding companies, so I understand a lot of what you're saying, Mr. Lee, and I do appreciate you coming on. You're a brave man. Anyway, with that said, I understand the aspects of NDAs and having to tie up in contracts and friends that you don't necessarily like doing business with, but it makes it advantageous to do business with others. With that said, I'm in agreement with you, but can you do a digital proxy so that you can truly represent us, in that we can provide our membership number and a digital proxy and a large enough amount in not any particular order, but you represent the membership and go straight to them with that leverage? Because I understand wanting to rebuild the tree so nobody feels like outed because they lose their downline and their monies. Digital proxy would solve a lot of that problem, and I'm down for that. Because you are a respected business guy. You do have a reputation out there that you're trying to fix right now. I get all of that. I want to get to a solution, and I would love to speak with you one-on-one at some time in the future, because I really do have solutions I can get with you, and I understand your position. Because dealing with Fortune 5 countries and companies around the world, everybody's got lawyers. and everybody makes it difficult. But I'm willing to help with the solution because there are a lot of people that got hurt. I'm debt free and don't owe anybody anything, so it doesn't hurt me as bad as some of these people, but it does not keep me from being sympathetic to them. Now, with that said, what can I do to help you facilitate, to actually provide an ongoing solution to offer to people? Because these meetings will always culminate the same way until you have that sign up here, digital proxy. I'll represent the membership base as to 1x return without binding yourself legally for the debt.
Yeah, that's a great solution. And let's look at some templates that I could use and go out to the membership, starting with you guys here, and put together, a board of trustees, so that we could then get people on board to sign the digital proxy, because that's the thing, right? No one will move without you guys telling them to. So you guys are trusted members of the community, and if this is the right step, if this is the right next step, then let's do it.
I think that's the path to go, because right now you are maybe not as financially percentage wise in deep like a lot of people are, but you are in the same boat and you get the same size ore that I get. So if you want to set up a board, I'm down. Prab is on here. He would probably be interested in that also. And just sitting back watching people discuss things, my questions have changed 50 times in the course of this one meeting. But the source of this is the solution. You want to represent the membership? I'm down for a proxy. I'm also down to have my legal help you fill out what the criteria of that proxy is, because you're going to represent, it's like a business agent at the union. The union membership don't hold him responsibility, he represents them. So you want to help? This is my solution, and I'm willing to fly to wherever you need me to help with this.
Well, we seem to have built this community without flying anywhere. So, let's put everybody's digital proxy forward without having anyone spend another cent on, any unnecessary costs.
It's like this. If in my blog, I have 100,000 plus followers, that gives me a very heavy hammer to swing. If you're talking 500,000 membership, you have a truck to drive into them. So I think that's the solution to go through. Everybody, because you're the face on here, is the face that they can yell at. And if you enjoy that, I don't personally enjoy getting yelled at, but my solution to you is this is what we need to do going forward. And I would like to set something up to vet out whatever the digital proxy is. I'll be the first one to sign it. I'm done.
Okay, great. I don't mind being yelled at as long as we're, moving in the right direction. And I believe that's.
I hope this helps.
Thank you, Ronald.
Ronald, thank you for that contribution. Happy? Let me just unmute you. Go for it.
Hi, thank you. First of all, a big thank you to Harinder, AJ, and Gobi for just having Sam on this call. Sam, thank you so much. Honestly, today you've justified true leadership by just coming onto this call. We want to say a big thank you on behalf of Team Canada here. Just a few things I would like to just comment on is, now you said you are under Hypertech umbrella. There is Hyperverse, there is Hypernation, and you work on the technology side, right? My question is, what is Hyperverse different to Hypernation? Why is Hypernation paying us up to 0.7%, why does Hyperverse do not pay us till date today? What could be the justification to that? Now I understand Hyperverse had multiple accounts. With Hypernation, it's linked to an NFT with your email address. But Hypernation is paying us up to 0.7, and that is how we are sort of compensating us as leaders, our downlines. We are trying to just, I know they have put in their hard-earned membership into Hyperverse. Now, this is a recovery plan just from our side, just by purchasing a 400 membership for them. So at least something is coming back to them in return. So what is different from Hypernation to Hyperverse? What would you actually say on that?
Well, the way Hypernation was pitched to me was it was a solution to Hyperverse. So, you know, the fact is, Hyperverse membership is still not getting anything, and you know, it isn't up to leaders to make people whole, because leaders don't have memberships money, right? You guys got rewarded for bringing people in. The objective is always for corporate to pay their 1x. So I'm not here to comment, or you know, I can't comment because I don't have the visibility, but my objective really is how do I work with you guys to drive a truck somewhere.
I think it's last question, Harinder, I believe. I think you're on mute. And
sorry, I didn't realize I was on mute.
Gary, go for it, buddy.
We saved the best to last, haven't we, Gary? Okay.
I'll try and...
Sorry, Gary, I accidentally muted you. Sorry, yeah, do you want to just unmute yourself again?
Sam, I'll try and keep this quick for you. I do appreciate it's late, and thank you very much for the time you've given us all. Harinder, Gobi, AJ, thanks so much for organising. Sam, I just want to take you back to something you said very near the start, where I appreciate this is a two-pronged attack. It's one, to work with trying to represent us, to get corporate to do something that they've been promising you for ages. The other side of it is for you to provide us with a solution through a collaboration or whatever method, maybe using Ronald's aspect as well. And you said it won't involve any money from ourselves as the members. You're then going to take a solution out to the marketplace. So whose money are you using? Because you're going out to the marketplace with a bunch of, as it were, the Pied Piper, with this band of merry men, people, families behind you. But what with? Because you're not going to ask us for any money. So whose money are you using?
Well, I'm hopefully using the marketing budget of these companies, right? They need to do something to get your attention. And if I've already gotten your attention, then I'm saving them a lot of money.
Okay. All right. Okay. So there will be no pull on us financially, and we appreciate that corporate are working in the background to try and provide. You're just trying to bolster what we may or may never get back from corporate, in order to at least provide an alternative way of getting 1x or whatever it might be back. Is that correct?
Yeah, and you know, I understand that a lot of people have lost friends and also made friends on this journey. You know, but I want to remind everybody that this industry is still very young. You know, there's still a lot of opportunities, you know, on this journey, and you know, hopefully I'm a filter between the good and the bullshit, so that in the future we're able to close rank and really take advantage of the good together. So you know, I understand not everybody is willing to give up any more time, because there are people who have said enough is enough, right? But I don't believe that a solution can start immediately. It really needs to start through first this journey of fact finding. So for me to hear from all different voices of the community and to understand that people from all walks of life have participated, benefited, and also lost, and really just give some visibility on the path forward. I do want to bolster this to the point where people are actually able to benefit from this industry, because nobody puts their money in for 401x, right? That's not the original intention of anyone who's investing, right? So you've given up your time, energy, and money, and now you want more. You're just rewards for that, and unfortunately, if things are going well, if I believe I've delivered on my promise and that went straight to membership, and everything kept on going well, why am I here, right? I'm here because something went wrong, and I think just saying it's wrong is an understatement. It's gone terribly wrong, but I'm here to face the music. I'm here to deal with this, and I'm here to, as sorry, I'm losing myself here, but I'm here to take on your advice as well, on how I could better represent everybody to drive, a truck somewhere. So please.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I'm all ears. Right.
Just one thing. You've mentioned there that things have gone horribly wrong, from in your words, as it were. Can you, and will there be a time when somebody can explain what has happened? I appreciate you are under oath or perhaps legal restraints, but will anybody ever be able to tell us what happened? I know it's hindsight, but if you're trading and you're able to make money in a bull market, traders can also make money in a bear market. And you've mentioned a lot of the time here that when you're able to make monies in a bull market, is there something you can build where you can get rewards in a bear market as well?
Yeah, so that requires a separate conversation, because it requires revealing some IP, and we have a very structured model to win every time, and it doesn't involve trading, right? So I think if we take the process of signing an NDA, I'll be able to give you some more insights on that. And that's the thing, right? If you guys are wanting to be confident in what I'm doing moving forward, and understanding it makes sense from a business perspective, then you guys will be confident in knowing that whatever we bring in will benefit everyone. Right, so that requires some transparency, and that requires an NDA signed between us.
All right, thank you. Well, that's something that we can work with Harinder and the higher leadership. So, Sam, thank you for your time. Over to you, Harinder. Thank you very much.
Gary, thank you so much. Sam, I just want to thank you once again for being here. I don't know where you get the energy from. It's 3 o'clock in the morning in Dubai, And, thank you for your generosity. And just want to let everyone know this is, Sam's not going anywhere. So there's going to be more calls, more meetings. He's on a mission to find a solution. The amount of time he's been spending over the last, what's the date today? 17th. Over the last nearly 2.5 weeks with communities, with leaders. I'm talking about 5, 6, 7 hours a day to find a solution. So he's on a mission to do that. We appreciate you, Sam, whatever may happen. And I appreciate for some people, because this is your first interaction with him, one thing I did say, and this may or may not happen, trust takes time to rebuild. So what other alternative do we have at the moment? So I just invite everyone to be open-minded. Sam, any last closing words before we can let you go to bed?
No, I got a couple of emails to finish up, so I'm not going to bed. But look, let's set another time, and if anyone wants to have one-on-ones, because, there are things that I can't disclose, without an NDA. So, we could organize that over the next couple of weeks.
Brilliant. Thank you again, Sam. Thank you, everybody, as well. I appreciate everybody because it's late here as well in the UK and as well. So thank you. And we'll meet again on the next meeting. Thank you.